Welcome to Cuss and Clarity, where I cuss a little bit and clarify a lot. In today's reading, I'm asking your spirit team, what habit is holding you back? Okay, so the two stones that I have today for you is going to be amazonite. It's untumbled in the raw, okay? Amazonite. And the amazonite is associated with your heart and throat chakra, believed to enhance communication, reduce any aggression, and foster self-discovery. It's called the peacemaker stone, okay? So you can choose your pile based off of the stone alone, but I'm also going to pull some oracle to help you decide. Pile 2 is going to be the African bloodstone, okay? Root and heart chakra, stability, security, protection from negative influences. It can also be aided circulatory issues, boost your energy, detoxify the body, and support immune function. And it's called the Stone of Courage, okay? So I'm going to pull some oracle from our daily rituals oracle today to help you decide on your pile, all right? Let's get into it. All right. What habit is holding you back, pile 1? Let's get some oracle to help you pick your pile. So pile 1, what habit is holding you back? Boom. Okay. We have card number 30, presence. I am at peace in the present moment. And I'll read these from the booklet to help you get a little more clarity on picking your pile. So pile 2's oracle. What habit is holding you back, pile 2? What habit is holding you back? What habit is holding you back, pile 2? I'm going to take that one off the top there. Card number 35, we have surrender. I surrender to the flow of the universe, and that's with the African bloodstone. Okay, so we have card number 30 for pile 1. Okay, that number can resonate with you. The photo, it's for presence. I am at peace in the present moment. And what that says is, oh, not me shaking the place up. Drawing this card is a call for presence. It is a simple card to remind you to truly be in each moment. Where are you rushing, pushing, or overexerting yourself where you could instead opt for stillness? You are being guided to slow down, be present, and become an observer of your surroundings. You can connect back to the moment with a 5 senses practice that you should repeat frequently across your day, tuning in to all the sensations and sights around you. Name 5 things you can hear, 5 things you can smell, 5 things you can taste, and 5 things you can touch, 5 things you can see. You might be surprised by what you discover when you're truly present and in the moment without distraction. Take it all in. So that's the amazonite crystal for pile 1, presence. Pile 2 with the African bloodstone is card number 35 for surrender. I surrender to the flow of the universe, okay? You are receiving an important message to surrender, to let go of the outcomes, situations, and responses that are out of your control. Remember, the universe has a divine plan for you that you cannot see. Place trust in your life unfolding as it should. To surrender does not mean giving up or not participating in life. Instead, it's actively taking part in every situation, but with no set investment in the individual outcome. Is there a situation in your life you need to surrender to? Step back today and allow things to flow around you. Then act, but don't force things. Repeat your mantra often and surrender, knowing that in doing so, you serve your highest good. Okay, so that is pile 1 and pile 2. To help you decide, and we're going to get into your reading, what habit is holding you back. So you can pause here and meditate on these 2 piles, and I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Okay, welcome back, pile 1. If you chose pile 1 with the card for presence and the amazonite stone, this reading is for you. And today for this reading, what habit is holding you back, I'm going to be using the Divine Tarot deck, okay? So for pile 1, your spirit team, I've asked today, what habit is holding you back? All right. Let's get into your reading. Oh, what habit is holding you back, okay? We got one card out already. Okay, we got the Two of Cups in reverse. Okay, Two of Cups in reverse. And this deck is based off of folklore from all around the world. Sometimes I will read them specifically because the tale itself, the folklore itself, can be definitely meaningful and provide some clarity. Okay, so we got the Two of Cups in reverse. What habit is holding you back, pile 1? Okay, we have the Ten of Coins. Also the Ten of Pentacles, okay? So far we're getting water sign, earth sign energy here. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What habit is holding you back? Okay, we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. Okay, so I'm going to start with these 3. What habit is holding you back, pile 1? Okay, pile 1, so you chose the Amazonite, which we discussed is the stone of truth and communication. This reading so far that I'm getting is about the honesty that you're avoiding with yourself, okay? The Two of Cups in reverse talks about losing yourself in external validations. That can be in your love life, that can be in work. It can even be amongst your friend group. It talks about what you give in order to keep the peace. These is the statement when we say it's easier if. Oh, you know, my boss is really not being fair to me, but it's just easier if I just don't say anything. Easier for who? I don't do love readings, like I said, when it comes to like, is this person for me? Do they love me? I don't do that bull crap, because I feel like if you need to come to tarot and ask if somebody loves you or what their feelings are towards you, you already know. I'm here to give you guidance and show you how you can improve your inner peace, your spirituality, to then improve your external world, okay? So when I'm talking about love, I'm not swaying anybody into or out of relationships, but I do want you to know that any relationships that we have here, whether it be, again, work, friend, relationship, romantic, you're overexerting to keep peace, okay? Might be seeking approval, afraid of abandonment, so therefore you put yourself in a position to ignore, okay? A habit that is holding you back is seeking external validation to the point where you are not trusting your own decisions, okay? When it comes to the Ten of Pentacles, we're talking about, this is about your coin, okay? This is about family legacy. In most of the decks, it's always going to be somebody surrounded by family, okay? We're talking about the guardianship that we have over our legacy and the things that we're trying to build for our future self, okay? Whether you have a family or want to start a family, family doesn't always involve children, but it can. This is going to be what you are building towards, okay? This is going with the Two of Cups, talking about how you might be staying in jobs or relationships or environments for the stability or for the image of how it makes you look. Sometimes we worried about status more than we are about the actual outcome and building something lasting. I'm not trying to get cute with you, but you came here for the truth and I'm going to give it to you. Your big sister is telling you sometimes you'll be doing shit because you like the way that it makes other people view you. But what are you compromising in order to say, hey, I got it? What are you compromising in order to make it look like you have it all together? Okay? Who are you trying to appease? Are you afraid of breaking family tradition? What this Ten of Coins is about, family and legacy. It's okay to want to build towards family and legacy, but are you doing it at your own expense, and are you doing it just for the clout, per se, if we're going to get honest? Okay? Are you choosing the safety and the stability of how this situation looks and how it makes you appear to others over actual authenticity? Okay? You might be prioritizing long-term security to the point where you're silencing yourself about what you truly want. Okay, so the habit that your spirit team is telling you right now with these two cards just off the bat is you are compromising what you truly want in order to appear like you have it all put together. Okay, and the Seven of Swords is exactly what we talked about earlier, is self-deception, because in this card, this wolf is guarding. Okay, they have these swords in their mouth looking like they're on guard. There's a shadow back here that looks like something is trying to come up against the wolf. And then, of course, we oftentimes see smoke signal as a signal of distress. Okay, but this shadow is literal. When you're walking down the street and you see your shadow, you know you ain't 10 feet tall. Okay, that's the light casting on your body, creating an image that isn't truth. You know you ain't standing 12 feet tall looking like Slender Man. So this shadow is saying that, is there something really there? Is there something really coming up against this this wolf? What is the wolf guarding against, per se? For all we know, this shadow right here could be a mouse. Casting the shadow can distort images, is what I'm saying. Okay, this smoke distress signal is a false. So this talks about when we self-deceive. Okay, when we know that something isn't right, but we pretend like it is. When we perceive a situation for more than what it actually is. Excuse me. You might even be avoiding confrontation. Okay, you might feel guilty for speaking the truth. And again, this can be in all aspects of your life, but I'm really getting a sense of, for most of you, that this is work related and also relationship related. Okay. And again, relationship can be all types of relationships that we build throughout our lives. So the habit that your spirit team is telling you is holding you back is the need to preserve the image instead of preserving yourself. It's a lot of self-sacrifice. Okay, this Seven of Swords is telling me, pile one, that you already know what needs to change. But maybe you're afraid, again, of breaking down the family tradition, disappointing people. Maybe you're afraid that you're going to look as though you gave up. Okay, and because I'm getting strong earth sign here, earth signs, y'all know. Sometimes y'all be a little stiff, honey. She work hard for the money, and that's okay. But have you built a life for yourself to make it look like you have it all together and you're not truly living? Okay, let's get some more tarot here to continue clarifying. Okay, what habit for pile one is holding them back? Okay, what habit is holding back pile one? So we know the habit, but let's continue clarifying. Okay, we got two that came out. We have the Page of Coins. Okay. And we have Justice. All right. Page of Coins and Justice for pile one. So we know that the habit is the idea of appearances, okay? Keeping up appearances, keeping up with the Joneses, ignoring your own truth in order to satisfy, okay? You might be holding it down because you feel like, well, this is what I got to do. This is what my mama always did. This is what my daddy always did. This is what I was taught. And that's okay to be responsible. But if you're over responsible to the point where you're just keeping the peace, right? You're just going with the motion. Some of us wasn't taught really to be happy. And we have the moon. And I saw that pop through earlier. So I love when a card tries to come out and then you reshuffle and it comes out anyway. So that just means and solidifies that it was for you, okay? So the overall pattern that I'm seeing here is silencing your own needs. Okay, I'm hearing avoiding rocking the boat. Okay, might be staying loyal, because this 10 of coins, we see a dog in most decks, almost all, which does talk about loyalty. Are you staying loyal, though, to situations that drain you? Are you telling yourself it's fine when it isn't? Okay, this moon card here is very telling, because we have one little raccoon figure looking at the moon in the water. But we have the woman and the other raccoon-like animal looking up at the moon in the sky. Do you think that if you were able to talk to this raccoon, that he would say that he saw the moon, and this raccoon can say the same? But which moon is correct? Which moon is false, and which one is real? Now, we know that the moon in the sky is real, but the moon in the water is casting, again, a shadow of the moon in the sky. So what this tells me in this illustration in the moon card itself is, when we look to things that may satisfy us, but is there truth behind it? Okay, can you truly be honest with yourself and say everything is fine? Okay, or are you illusion? Okay, disillusioned. Is it a delusion? Okay, keeping up appearance, because the moon appears to be in the water, or the moon appears to be here, when you have the actual moon here in the sky. And then we have a bridge. Okay, we know a bridge is from one place to the other. There is hope for you to renew. And what can help you break these habits, pile one, is honest conversations, either with yourself or with the people around you. Okay, it's okay to be uncomfortable. So you might need to choose discomfort over the stagnation, right? Over the mundane, the everyday hustle and bustle, the routine. Break outside of your routine, get a little bit uncomfortable, okay? Your daily ritual was about presence. It's about being in the moment. If you need to be in the moment, it tells me that you're just going with the flow instead of actually stopping, and basically what they say, stop and smell the roses, okay? It is okay to go after your dreams. And what I was saying earlier, some of us weren't taught to be happy. We were taught, get a job, go to college, pay your bills, start a family. And then you do these things, boom, 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 every single day, boom, 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 every single day. That doesn't mean you're not good at it. It doesn't mean stop doing it. What it means is, are you afraid of rocking the boat? Okay, you pulled the Amazonite card, which we talked about, throat chakra. It can also be related to any thyroid issues, things like that. But it's definitely healing of the throat chakra. It's when we need to speak up. It's when we speak, even if our voice shakes, okay? Even if you feel like no one's going to hear you or no one's going to listen. Even if you have a history of people not taking you seriously, which is why you put on this serious persona. Maybe whatever you're thinking about going after, or whatever changes you want to make to kind of break up the routine that you're used to, you may feel like people are going to think that you are not serious. I'm really getting a serious person here when it comes to work, especially. Okay, you could be doctor, lawyer, accountant, something that people would otherwise considered to be boring, but you might be, dress slacks and suit every day in the office, okay? Might be the person that people come to when they need to get stuff done. And whatever it is that you're thinking about changing, you don't want that to change the persona as if you don't have it together. Your family's going to be fine. And when I say family, I'm talking about if you are a caretaker, if you're a parent, if you have a spouse. They're not going to see you any differently if you're thinking about taking a lighter approach to some of the things that you are interested in. Okay? You don't want to continuously have the habit of being so serious. That's why this page of coins is here. The page is the youngest energy in the deck. It asks us to renew our outlook on life and kind of think about it from the mindset of a child, essentially, okay? To kind of have fun with and be a little bit more lighthearted, okay? So with the page of coins, it's talking about a renewal, like I said, thinking about it from a different mindset, having fun with it. This is what happens when you practically start to move towards stopping that self-betrayal, okay? That self-disillusionment that you have been in, okay? This is maybe something small by maybe starting off with a core skill, some type of investment in yourself, okay? It doesn't have to be all at once. It can be small, very mindful movements towards choosing you, okay? This is the small steps that we take to stop overextending and building something that's for you and only you. That doesn't have anything to do with what people told you to do. It doesn't have anything to do with what your job expects of you. It doesn't have anything to do with being a parent or a spouse, someone who's in a relationship, someone who takes care of a home. Even if you are not in a romantic relationship, you might be somebody who is the head of your home, who people rely on. It's okay. You're not failing. Okay. It doesn't mean you don't take things seriously. You're allowed to be tired. You're allowed to recognize that you're overextending yourself, but you're afraid to fix it, or you didn't know which direction to go in to fix it because you didn't want people to think that that meant that you didn't want to hold your position any longer. And this could be for people who are responsible for taking care of sick family members. This can be a person who's responsible for caring for others, and that might be your job, caring for others. But whatever it is, you're in a position where you're just doing what you have to do, keeping your head down. But the Justice card tells us that karma kind of evens out for you. When you start making decisions based on what's fair to you, okay? When you start setting boundaries, maybe saying no when no is required, maybe having an honest conversation with the people around you who may be reliant on you consistently, and you're wanting to step away and say, maybe if you start little chunks, I'm going to take time to read more. I'm going to take time to myself as far as a full vacation. Don't have to be nothing extravagant. Maybe you just want to get away for a few days, in town, out of town. It doesn't matter. But the small steps that you take to start letting people know that you're human too. And although you are someone who is heavily relied on, you matter. Okay. The Justice card tells us that you'll get that evenness. Okay. Where you'll be able to not feel punished for wanting to have a little bit more alignment, okay, in the things that you're doing. And then again, like the moon, we talked about earlier about the illusion, okay? This is about your fear and illusions. This is about your anxiety of the unknown. There may even be some old abandonment wounds that are coming to surface, and you are asking yourself, like, what if I lose everything? What if other people don't get what they need from me? You're afraid of not being serious enough. And that's what I keep hearing. I keep hearing that you are afraid that people are going to think that that means that you don't care, that you're not going to be taken seriously if you start to think about what's next, right? Instead of just doing the same thing all the time. You're afraid that people are going to look at you as irresponsible. Okay. This moon card also talks about a fear that we know is there, but we're refusing to look at it. And the Seven of Swords is confirming that, not confronting or making up a mountain out of a molehill per se with this shadow, right? Making things bigger than what they are. And that's okay, because that means growth. If you recognize that it's there, that's typically the first step in trying to figure out what can you do to move forward through it, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pull some oracle from our Woodland Wardens deck, okay? This is going to help you kind of clarify these messages a little bit more. So what habit is holding you back? So the habit that we have discovered through this, now this don't belong in here. The habit that we've kind of discovered through this reading is that you are choosing comfort, okay? You choose comfort over the truth of how you really feel. You would rather just do it. You don't want to rock the boat. Fear of being looked at in a certain light. Maybe fear of setting boundaries. And you know what else I'm hearing before I pull these oracle? Because this really just sparked on my mind, okay? What I'm feeling is, and what I'm hearing from your spirit team is, there may have been a point in time in your life where you did say no and people turned away from you. If it's a job where you were trying to choose yourself and you were fired or demoted. If it is about your family, maybe there were people who treated you poorly because you wanted to take time for yourself. I will tell you that that was never for you. You can know the difference, because I'm here to provide clarity and practicality on what you can do, right? There's a difference between people who want something from you and people who may be reliant on you versus a user, okay? People who are reliant on you aren't always users, but those who get upset when you want to take time to yourself, those are the motherfuckers that's leeching off of you, whether it be a job or it be personal. People who really care about you don't want you to get burnt out. They want you to set a boundary, and boundaries don't have to be bitchy. You ain't an asshole because you say no. You're not an asshole when you say, yes, I can help you, but maybe on Thursday because Tuesday I'm going to be doing this. If you're afraid of what people may think about the choices that you're making, remember that no is a complete fucking sentence. Not right now. Yes, but in an hour. Yes, but next week. That's a small step that you can take to start setting boundaries without having to over-explain your damn self. Okay? Restore the balance in your life. Receive the justice and karma that you're due by taking those small steps to ensure that you're taking care of your motherfucking star player. What do you say? Stay in tune with your star motherfucking player. That's you. They can't rely on you if your ass is burnt out. They need to think about that too. So the next time you start to feel bad about, well, what if and what if and what if, start to think that can you be your best fucking self if your ass... Now, see, I don't even have to keep on talking. Look, Spirit just shut me right the hell on up. We got the porcupine and the anonymity boundaries. Now, you need to read this damn shit. Yeah, please. Let's get one more. Okay. We have the eel and the iris, which is safety. Ooh, child. Yeah, your spirit team got your back today. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay. That's safety. When spirit gives you a directive and something practical that you can use, they're always going to give you some clarity to your biggest fear. You will be safe in setting these boundaries. Rocking the boat is not going to tear everything down. It's not going to leave the people who rely on you desolate. It's not going to put you in a position to be disliked or hated. Not by anybody that matters any fucking way. Okay? You will be safe in doing what you love and doing what is required. And because I'm getting a lot of earth sign energy, I'm sorry, friend, but I have to be honest. Earth signs can be very about their business, and being about your business can sometimes keep you from doing what it is that you need to do. Relaxation sound like an insult to you. Okay? You done told yourself and convinced yourself that this is fun. I like crunching numbers. I like working all day and night. Oh, I do have fun. Yeah, okay. Now let's read this. The porcupine and the anonymity boundaries. The porcupine, with its impressive quills, is a well-known symbol of self-defense. Or according to a legend commonly among the Anish... Let's stop playing with me. Anishinaabe tribes. The porcupine got its quills by placing the branches of a hawthorn tree on its back, defending itself against the bear. Nanabozo, the trickster of the Ojibwe myth, saw the porcupine's cleverness and fashioned it a coat of quills to wear from then on. Just as the porcupine curls into a ball to defend itself from predators, the anonymity flower turns inward and down during rainstorms, protecting its delicate petals from damage. You cannot help others unless you first help yourself. Maintain healthy boundaries around your time and energy, giving generously only once you are sufficiently fed. Questions to ask yourself is, how can I ensure my needs are met? Have I established healthy boundaries around my time and energy? And do I respect the boundaries of others? Ooh, they eating you up. They eating you right on up. But I'm glad that this is coming out for you, because sometimes people need to hear it plain and simple. Okay, and the safety, I find it funny how, you know, the boundaries is on this page, and there's a couple pages later we have the eel and the iris for safety. Okay, because your spirit team really wants to put your anxiety at ease. Eels are furtive creatures, often burying themselves in the murky depths. The idiom, slippery as an eel, refers to the eel's ability to escape harm. The iris is the tall, hardy flower from which the fleur-de-lis, a medieval symbol of power and victory, is derived. Together, the stealthy eel and the mighty iris indicate safety in our homes, relationships, and work. Now is a good time to establish healthy boundaries. If others take offense, do not fret over their reaction. Stand firm in your power like the iris. Now, your spirit team can't be no clearer than this. Really and truly. Really and truly. Okay? I'm going to keep going though. I'm going to keep on going though, because your spirit team is already telling you. Now, the spirit team already told you what habit is holding you back, okay? The habit of ignoring yourself for others, keeping the peace, being afraid to rock the boat, making sure everything is fine, making sure everything look fine. And we got the fool. Can't get no motherfucking clearer than that, baby. The fool say, leap before you look. The fool say, just do it. Just do it. Do it. Okay? It's not about being foolish. It's not about doing things without thinking, but it's about not overthinking, okay? It's about doing the thing that scares you without fear of what's going to happen. Because friend, listen, you're already stable, honey. You so goddamn stable that you want to keep up the image of continuing to be stable, that you won't allow yourself any fun. You won't allow yourself to go after your own dreams because you are already so worried about everybody else. You got that shit down. You know how to do that. You know how to be fucking reliable. You Mr. Miss or Mix Reliable. That's your middle name, Reliability. Reliability Jones. You ain't got no problem being on time. You ain't got no problem showing up and doing the work. You ain't got no problem paying the bills on time. You ain't got no problem saving money. You don't have no problem making sure everybody else is straight. That's why they come to you. But this is a confirmation that not only are you going to be safe when you start to set the boundaries and when you start to look at your situation from the Page of Coins energy and being able to take small little bites, okay? Take small little chunks of doing things for yourself. If you've already started, I'm proud of you. You might have already started picking up a book of some shit that you wanted to learn. You might have already started joining clubs, well, not meetings, but community groups, whether online or offline. Interest groups is what I'm trying to say, right? Focused interest groups, book clubs, pickleball fucking league. I don't know, but you starting to do things that are for you, even if in small doses. Okay. And that's okay. If you can't do nothing but start with a couple of hours a week, let alone maybe one day per week, you on the right path. Break that self-betrayal. Restore balance with justice. Face your fears with the moon and act like the fool. This is the story of the Little Mermaid, honey, baby. If that wasn't no damn fool, I don't know what to tell you. The girl done gave up her voice for some legs because she just knew that man was going to pick her. She didn't even think the shit through. She didn't even think like, how do you even know that he thought she was cute, girl? She didn't even think about that. She said, well, shit, go on and take my voice because I know he going to want me. And I know that my plan is going to come to fruition. So I don't have to even think it through, okay? If ain't nobody more foolish than Ariel, I don't know what to say. Take the risk and start fresh. You don't have to overthink because your spirit team has confirmed that you'll be safe in setting those boundaries. You'll be safe in wanting more than the hustle and bustle and the mundane of what you've been doing every single day, okay? You can step into the unknown with the Fool. The habit that has plagued you over and over. The habit that is holding you back. The habit that has played on your top, played in your face, and had you up at night wondering what the hell and why the hell and when the hell. Is safety. Staying in your safety net. Doing the same thing over and over for the approval and the security. But your spirit team is saying that freedom is what happens when you stop worrying about being judged. Okay, look a little foolish maybe. It doesn't mean that you don't plan or that you just do shit. It just means that you don't have to overthink it anymore. Okay? And those who are for you, just like with the eel and the iris, you'll be safe amongst those people. Your boundaries will be respected. Okay? Your legacy will continue on. You will still be seen as the responsible, well put together, well respected person, but you will have a little bit more balance. Hell, you'll be more rounded. Since you love to work so goddamn much, earth signs, that's one more little goddamn thing you can put on your fucking resume. I'm fun and I'm responsible. Hello? You want me on your goddamn bowling league? Because I'm going to show up on fucking time. So you can still have fun and be responsible. Because most things out there, whether they're for leisure or for work, you still gonna need people that you need to rely on. If you like paintball, you think they gonna play paintball with somebody they can't rely on, that don't have a plan. You need a plan to be the best fucking paintball player out there. Okay? Now, I do have some additional clarity that I want to provide, because again, I always leave people with something practical, something that you can put into practice, something that you can take away with you to begin claiming this reading. Okay, if you claim this message, you feel like this message was for you, I'm gonna give you something to take away that you can actually practice, so that you can begin receiving exactly what your spirit team has in store for you. Okay, so we know the habit, we know what to do next. Okay, setting those boundaries, doing stuff for yourself. Okay, your spirit team is offering you some practical solutions to take away. Okay, we don't just read intuitively over here. We don't just listen to spirit team pull some tarot. It's actually going to be something that you can walk away with. Okay, just because something is not happening right now doesn't mean that it will never happen. Divine timing is at play. Be patient and trust the process. Okay, and I'm going to grab some messages from her oracle. I like to pull this oracle to give you an idea of what energy can you embody in order to fully accept and receive this message. Okay, so just another tool that you can use. Now, again, I always give the disclaimer, I love this deck, but I did not write it. We don't love every single person that is in this deck for pop culture. Do not take who they represent as a person that we've seen in the media. Literally, it's just an energy that you can embody. Okay, so again, I ain't write it. There's some people in this deck that I ain't too happy about. I ain't gonna say who. But I didn't write the shit, okay, friends? So I'm going to give you something additional that you can practically walk away with to claim and accept this reading and break that habit that's holding you back, okay? So your spirit team has something that you can practically work on, okay? What can pile 1 do to accept this reading and move away from the habit of doing in order to feel secure, spirit? Okay. All right, we got Beyonce, power. Okay, remember what I said? I don't want to hear nothing. Okay, let me shut my ass up, because I don't want the beehive on my neck. But remember what I said, okay? It don't have to be 100% literal. But it say you can embody the power, okay? So I'm going to read it word for word. Beyonce's quote is, "I don't have to prove anything to anyone. I only have to follow my heart and concentrate on what I want to say to the world. I run my world." Ooh, they eating you up, friend. They eating you right on up. Are you looking outside of yourself lately, seeking praise? Ooh. Stop distracting yourself by trying to win the approval of others or the world at large. You were born with your own inherent power, and you can reclaim it by listening deeply to the desires that lie within your heart and body. Tune in and take action on your hopes and wishes. Invest your time in living your dreams and loving yourself. This is how you create your world. As your power grows, remember to use it wisely so that you may inspire others to reclaim their own worth and beauty. This card is reminding you to never forget that you are inherently valuable, lovable, and worthy simply because you exist. Don't give your power away by seeking validation, and don't wait for someone else to love you before you start loving yourself. Okay? Hello? Now, I done told you. That's your clarity pile 1. Okay? And don't forget that if you want a personal reading, something more in-depth, you can hit that link tree down in the description. I am coming out with a Custom Clarity Journal. If you need extra support, you can click the link tree in the bio to sign up for when it drops, okay? It's a guided journal to be able to help you rage, reset, and reclaim, okay? Because we don't do toxic positivity around here, because sometimes you got to fucking cuss a little bit before you can get to the magic, okay? And now you know better, pile 1, act like it. Okay, welcome to your reading, pile 2. If you chose the African Bloodstone and the daily ritual card that said surrender, this reading is for you. Today we will be using the Modern Goddess Tarot, okay? And the African Bloodstone, all right? The root and heart chakra, stability, security, protection from negative influences. It could also aid in circulatory issues, boost your energy, detoxify, and it's called the Stone of Courage, okay? It also can support immune function if that resonates with anyone here, all right? So today's reading is what habit is holding you back? So I'm asking your spirit team, what habit is holding you back? And I'm going to leave you with some practical things that you can put in place to accept your reading. All right, so let's get into it. Let me shuffle this shit up a little more because I ain't like that little funky shuffle. Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Pile 2. What habit is holding you back? Come on now. One at a time, spirit. What habit is holding you back? Pile 2. Okay. What habit is holding back? Pile 2. Boom. The Hermit right off the bat. Okay, cute. Strength in reverse. Now, some of these cards are supposed to emulate famous figures as well as deities from all different types of spiritual practices. Okay, the Strength card, we always have the lion, but in this card we have a baby deer and a wolf here. Okay, so sometimes I'll read exactly the meaning just because it can resonate with people a little more closely when I do that. Okay, because I do want to know who she is. All right, what habit is holding back? Pile 2. Okay, what habit is holding you back? Pile 2. Okay, this one wanted to pop on up. We got the 2 of Swords. All right, okay, period. Let's get into it. I'm gonna start with these 3. What habit, pile 2, is holding you back? All right, so the Hermit, Strength, and 2 of Swords. So the Hermit right off the bat is telling me, friend, you are trying to figure it out alone all the time. Okay, you avoid asking for help. You withdraw from people when things get tough and overwhelming for you. Okay, being somebody who is okay with figuring things out. Okay, if you a figure outer, because I definitely am, baby. Hyper, what's the word? Hyper, not hyper vigilance, but hyper independence. Okay, hyper independence based off of a wound of not being able to trust others. Okay, so right off the bat, your spirit team is telling you that your ability, because it is an ability, honey, because those of us who have crafted that ability, it almost becomes a damn skill to be able to figure out some shit alone. If it's figure outable, I'm gonna figure it out. Okay, but sometimes you avoid asking for help. Now, it's okay to have healthy solitude when you're reflecting, but unhealthy solitude is when we hide, withdraw, okay? when you are using your time alone as a shield, where it becomes less about resetting yourself and less about listening to your own thoughts and ideas and not wanting to be influenced by others. And it becomes more about you thinking you don't need nobody because you're afraid that needing people is going to put you in a vulnerable situation. Okay. This card is supposed to represent Hecate. Okay. I hope I'm saying that right. I do apologize if I'm not. And she's got this photo. Okay, she's taking a picture. That's you on candid camera, friend. Gotcha. Okay, that's you. Pointing the lens right back at you. Okay, and then we have strength in reverse. This is when you get into your harsh self-critique. When you are beating yourself down, okay? It's because you think, with this being in the reverse, you think that people are going to mistake your sensitivity for weakness. And that's why I love the way that they drew this card, because we have a little baby deer here that's obviously being nurtured by the woman, but she's nurturing the beast. Okay. This is a lion. If we took this literally, how powerful do you think you have to be for a lion to submit to you? And here go the wolf with their little paw out like, shit, pet me too. Hell, let me get a little bit of scratch under the fucking chin. It's okay for you to be a sensitive thug. Okay? We all know you got it together. We know that you know how to figure some shit out. We know you independent. You might have got it out the mud, but guess what? You can be soft. Okay? Isolating and acting like you don't need nobody is the habit that's holding you back. Because you think that somebody going to take your softness and your kindness as a weakness and try to play with you. And I know. I know sometimes that happens. Sometimes we can let fear overpower us as well. Okay. Sometimes we don't go after the things that we want and need because we're afraid of how it's going to turn out. Or this card may be telling some of you that you believe you're not strong enough or capable enough. Okay. Okay, so this is Oya, the Yoruba Orisha, okay? This card is asking us to accept what parts of us need to be softened and embraced, okay? It teaches you to allow your soft side to show. If y'all hear banging, it's because they're working on the next building. So I apologize if it's too distracting. So just bear with me here if you can hear that. Maybe I can hear it better because I'm here, but just in case, okay, I do apologize. But this is showing it's okay to show that you have a heart, essentially, okay? The Two of Swords got a blindfolded woman with two swords, okay? That's always going to talk about being in between a decision. But it's also the part where we do feel torn between two paths, because if you're here, that means that you know that something needs to change. I feel I'm getting the message that you're in between the, do I show people that I can be capable of having a heart? You know, maybe you're getting tired of people thinking like, oh, damn, what's wrong with them? It's just a defense mechanism. Rightfully so. Okay? You might even be avoiding a choice that you need to make right now because choosing is going to make whatever choice feel real. You might retreat and stay in limbo, okay, to avoid discomfort. Indecision might be a comfort zone for you, okay? So your spirit team with just 3 cards alone is telling you that you withdraw and overthink instead of acting, and sometimes you don't reach out for help because you're afraid that people is going to think that your weakness means you don't know nothing and they can play in your face and play on your top and take advantage of you, okay? What you can do is, from the beginning, is what I'm seeing here, that we can maybe put something practical into place, is maybe make one small little decision without overthinking it or overanalyzing it, okay? It could be something real stupid like what you gonna eat today. But that'll help you to learn how to trust yourself, and that'll help you to reframe your fear into growth. You know, maybe meet some new people, whether online or offline, where you can truly be vulnerable with. They don't know you, so if shit get a little sticky or you get scared, they don't know you, okay? Log off, go on ahead and, but try to remove yourself from that position where you're a figure outer because you're afraid that asking for help means that somebody's going to think you stupid. Somebody's going to think you weak. Yeah, let's get some more clarity on that. Okay. What habit does pile 2? What habit is holding pile 2 back? Okay, so we know that withdrawing, isolating ourselves, not asking for help is the overall theme. Maybe people taking kindness and softness for weakness, but let's get some more clarity and really dive in. Okay, pile 2, Spirit, what do you have for pile 2? A habit that's holding them back. Okay, we have the Crone of Cups, which would be equal to the Queen. Okay, that's water sign energy. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Okay, let's clarify. I want to clarify this Strength card. Okay, and then we have the Two of Cups. Okay, we got 2 people clanking up that glass. Look like they on an outdoor patio. We have some water back there. Okay, 2 of Cups is going to talk about our relationships. But in the reverse, I already know what this is saying to clarify the Strength card here. Okay, now this 2 of Swords is giving in between a decision. Let's talk about what it is. We got the 4 of Cups. So this is all about your heart. Okay, water sign energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This is all about your heart. This is all about how you feeling. The habit that is holding you back is your thoughts and feelings surrounded about what people is going to think about you. You over it too, friend. You over it. Somebody extending out to you. You got your arms crossed. You don't even look at them. You don't even recognize them. You over it. And the reason why you might be over it is because you probably been through disappointment. That's why you hermit. That's why you hole up and figure outable. You a figure outer because you feel like you can't rely on nobody. I'll do it my goddamn self then. You the type of person that asks somebody to do something and don't even give them an hour, friend, because if they ain't move their goddamn feet, you think they don't want to. Because you the type of person where somebody asks you to do something, you drop down. You drop everything you do and get it immediately done. You can't expect yourself out of others. That does not mean that you can't find true friendship, true love. That doesn't mean that your job doesn't respect you or isn't thinking about your skills. It just means that you're expecting you out of other people. Okay, so maybe slow down a little bit and really assess, is this a rejection or is it just the fact that you've learned over time to be a figure outer? Okay, you've learned over time to be a DIYer in all aspects of your life. You've overextended. Okay, we got the reverse 2 of Cups in pile 1 as well. You overextend in order to keep peace, or you overextend in order to just be like, you know what, fuck it, I'll do it. But when somebody try to hand out to you, you might not take it seriously. You might not think it's truth. Okay, I'm really getting this idea of being soft as weak is because maybe you used to be somebody that had a close group and community and somebody let you down. It could be familial, right? It could be childhood. So you've learned to think that gift giving or help from someone comes at a fucking price. So you learn to do it all on your own because you don't want to get played. Okay, let's go ahead and look at this deeper. Okay, so just as I was saying before, you nurture others before yourself. And that has put you in a position to believe that people cannot do the same for you. Here we have Yamaya, okay? We had Oya in the Strength and we have Yamaya. So you might be black listening to this, okay? This might hit real hard for you if you've been asking your Orishas for guidance, okay? This is what happens with the Crone of Cups, Queen of Cups, okay? Yamaya is depicted, the artist has depicted, chosen to depict Yamaya and Oya in these 2 cards here, Strength and the Queen of Cups. I like that the Queen of Cups and Strength have both pulled out Orishas, because when Strength is telling us in the reverse that you need to be a little bit softer or that you can allow people to see your softer side, so is the Queen of Cups talking about how You are in full control of your emotions, but it often represents like people who take on roles where you're always listening and caring. Okay, it could be in work. You might be a psychologist, a doctor, a healer, a counselor, a teacher, somebody who people rely on, and you're always listening. So you prefer not to show your vulnerability because you know that you don't want people to look at you as somebody who can't do it if you're vulnerable. Okay, we talked about that earlier. So not wanting to show your deepest emotions, okay? But you do care deeply about others, but you are nurturing others more than yourself, okay? And then the Two of Cups again is when things aren't mutual, or when there's a misalignment in the type of emotions that are provided and the type of emotions that's received. You might avoid heavily emotional conversations, that especially when emotional conversations center around you and how you feel. This coming through with that Hermit card is expressing that you withdraw instead of expressing that you might be hurt or that you need something, okay? And this is very apathetic energy. You're over it. Like I said, got the arms folded. You might not even recognize when people trying to be there for you. And that's okay, because like I said, it could come from a response to people not being there for you, okay? You might be guarded because you don't know who to trust. That's where this Two of Swords is coming from, in between knowing who to trust. Like, yes, I do want to open up to people more. And I'm not trying to get cute when I say this or trying to hurt nobody's feelings, but you came here for some realness, okay? You might be thinking to yourself you want to make more friends. You might even be looking to get into a romantic relationship, or somebody might be pursuing you, and you know, like, God damn, I don't want them to think I ain't feeling them. You know, I don't want people to think I'm not a good person. And, you know, like, damn, why am I like this? How come every time somebody try to be friendly with me, I'm sitting over here with my face scrunched up and shit? It's because you're not trusting, but you're in between the decision of like, damn, I want to open up. You detach as a way to protect yourself, okay? You're not emotionally checked out or emotionally unavailable. You just don't want to get hurt. And so your overall message as far as what habit you need to break, or what habit is holding you back per se, is the emotional withdrawal and the need to self-protect, okay? You might be blocking intimacy and new opportunities for growth and community and friendship because you're afraid that people don't take care of you the way that you take care of others, and that people don't take care of you the way that you take care of you, okay? I'm going to get some oracle from our Woodland Wardens Oracle deck, okay, to kind of put this into better perspective for you, pile 2. Okay, what can pile 2 do to help clear up this need to withdraw? Okay, what practical steps can be taken? What message does your spirit team have for you in regard to your emotions and how you withdraw from others? Okay, regarding this habit to withdraw, what does your spirit team have to say? Okay, we have the we got the rooster and the sunflower talking about communication now. Okay, get one more here. Yeah, I'm sorry, friend. You knew it though. You knew it before you got your ass over here. You saw that habit, or what habit do I need to break, and then you knew. Curiosity. Okay, we got the raccoon and the sycamore. I ain't gonna lie, I really like that raccoon, but we'll get over it, okay? Now, the rooster and the sunflower, as far as what your spirit team is telling you that you can put into practicality. All right, the rooster and the sunflower says communication, okay? It says, this is the card of the good leader and the kind king. Roosters wake before the rest of the farm, alerting everyone to the rising sun. Come on, somebody. They are protective of their territory and self-confident, but they are good communicators, honest and capable. The sunflower is often the tallest bloom in the garden, rising high and turning its face toward the sun. While it may hover over other flowers, it bestows warmth and joy on any garden. You are well suited to positions of authority. Remember that clear and open communication is key to successful leadership. How can I improve my communication? And what styles of communication do I admire in others? See, baby, they telling you, okay? Your figure-outable nature, your coldness, and I'm not saying coldness is a bad thing, but you might be a little cold towards others, okay? Based off of your own dealings with disappointment and people not being reliable. You tend to be the person that people can rely on. I'm hearing that from your spirit team. Because you are the person that most people can rely on, because you are the person that shows up when nobody else shows up, you oftentimes don't think that people can show up for you the way that you show up for others, or even show up for you the way that you show up for yourself, okay? That figure-outable nature, doing it alone, not asking for help, maybe being in a position where people are listening, where you're the listener, you're the advisor, you're the healer, you're the professional, okay? Psychology, counseling, doctor, therapist. Degree or no degree, people come to you, you advise. You might even be a spiritual teacher. You might read tarot. Hell. Because I know that sometimes it's hard for me to read for myself, so I seek outside guidance. So just because you hear don't mean that you don't have that spiritual gift. Okay? And what happens is when it talks about the sunflower rising above the other flowers, but not overshadowing them, you are seen and depicted as somebody that's in a position of leadership, but that also may make people feel like you unapproachable. And that might be something you're worried about with this Two of Swords, or you're worried about people thinking that you ain't friendly. You might be worried about making new friends, or starting relationships, or even if you're in a relationship that maybe you getting feedback that person think you don't care, and you want to try to explain to them like, I do. But this Crone of Cups and this Two of Cups in reverse is saying like, damn, but if I open up, is this going to be it? Am I going to play myself? If I fucking open up to these goddamn people, or I stop being fucking friendly, am I going to lose my ability to be discerning? Am I going to lose my hypervigilance? Because that's what you are, hypervigilant. You always scoping out the fucking room. You see shit before anybody else. You see shit, you react. Your friends, family can rely on you. Okay? You are always on time. Baby, I'm always on time. And I gave you my, yeah. But you want to be more vulnerable because you know, okay? You know that habit of you closing yourself off is making it difficult for you to move forward in some of the things that you want to do, okay? And that's good that you're here and you're listening to this, because you know that that's what it is. But I get the fear of not wanting to open up to people who don't deserve to hear it. Okay, so then we have the raccoon and the sycamore for curiosity. The raccoon and sycamore calls us to explore a thrilling new interest, idea, or opportunity. Raccoons are intelligent creatures, dexterous and eager. Often likened to bandits due to the mask-like markings around their eyes, they are quite lovable rascals, rarely seeking to cause harm. Like the raccoon, the sycamore tree is associated with a desire to learn and know. In the Bible, a man named Zacchaeus climbs a sycamore tree to get a better view of Jesus as he passes through the town of Jericho. Jesus rewards the man's curiosity by visiting his home. Now, don't take that too literally if you're not somebody that's religious. Okay, I didn't write the book. But I will say that symbolism coming in all forms of different types of spirituality is important, okay? Because what that lets us know is that you're curious. With this Two of Swords, you're curious. You might even be curious about a person. You might be curious about an opportunity, but you're curious nonetheless. But remember when they said that mask-like markings on the raccoon, think bandit, okay? You know that people look at you and they see strength. They see maybe unapproachable, but you know that that's not you. You are aware that whatever was bothering you, whatever hurt you is no longer there. You may have overcome it. You may have healed from it, but you still have that one little piece that makes you worried that people are not going to accept your vulnerable side. It's not going to make you any less professional, and it's not going to make you any less of leadership. It's not going to make you any less of a person who is warm when it's time to do the thing, right? You're very loving and compassionate when it's time to give advice. But when it's somebody trying to come and give you love, you expect that they're going to respond and want from you the same thing that others who didn't have the right, they didn't have a good heart. Okay, they didn't have the best of intentions. Okay, so that fear is absolutely valid. And you're in between the two choices of, do I open up more and be vulnerable? Okay, we have Oya, Yamaya. Okay, this may also be a spiritual message from your spiritual team telling you that if you are somebody who was looking more into the Orishas, you're on the right path. For people who practice a different type of spirituality, we have Hecate. Okay, and we even got the Bible. So if you hear, this may be telling you to research all different types. You may be on your healing journey and you've already been researching all these different types. You may be somebody who was, you know, worried about even coming to this reading because you are in the church. But that's okay, because you're getting your answers. You're getting your clarity, okay? That softness is going to come from getting in tune with your spirituality, which is obviously why you're here as well. So I feel like there's a lot of something to take away for every person on a different type of their spiritual journey. Okay, I'm going to continue the raccoon and the sycamore. Okay, so it says, you are well equipped to explore uncharted territories. Climb high into the tree of your interest, bounding from branch to branch. Now is an auspicious time to discover new truths about yourself and your abilities. What new hobbies or interests do I want to explore? Okay, so that goes back to what I was saying, that you are torn between the idea of maybe getting involved, maybe going out more, maybe exploring a romantic connection. If it's work, you may be, you know, thinking about getting involved more with the group activities and stuff that they got going on. Very professional, very kind. You have a keen ability to counsel others, okay, whether that be your professional job or your personal outlook on life, but you're afraid of people seeing you. You're afraid of accepting help from others. You're afraid that accepting help from others is going to make them look at you as somebody who is weak, okay? So your habit that is holding you back is your inability to reach out to others, and maybe your inability to fully connect. Okay, you're connecting on a surface level, and I'm going to be honest with you, friend. You're connecting from a logical fucking standpoint. You're connecting from a academic standpoint, and what I mean by that is, you know what to do. Okay, you know how to make people feel welcome. You know how to make people feel good about themselves. You know how to have a conversation. But are you having a conversation from a place of vulnerability and emotion rather than intellect? You saying the right shit, and people see you as someone who is kind and they want to befriend you, but you don't have the ability to truly open up to folks, okay? Because you're afraid that they're going to take your kindness for weakness. They're going to believe, you know, that you might be taken advantage of, okay? You might not be seeing people show up for you, or have not seen people show up for you in the past in the way that you show up for others, okay? And I'm going to get some oracle messages from the universe here for you to tie this all together for you. And again, leaving you with practical measures that you can take, okay? Practical measures that you can take in order to accept this reading and move forward, okay? Something that you can do that your spirit team has put on my mind is maybe let someone meet you emotionally instead of assuming that they won't, okay? Choose to engage rather than avoid, okay? And remember that your sensitivity is a gift, which is probably why you might hold this professional place. And if you not working in it now, you're going to. You want to. You know what to do. You are somebody who you know people can rely on. You knew that from a very young age. You knew that motherfuckers was coming to you to fix their goddamn problems from a very young age. That's why your spirit team, okay, that's why the universe, God, whomever you choose to put in that position of authority over your life, has appointed you to be somebody that people can come to. Because you know your sensitivity is a fucking gift. Now, don't get me cussing. Come on now. Let me get you a message here from your spirit team, all right? Something practical that Pile 2 can put into place to help claim and accept this reading for Pile 2. Oh, boom, boom. Okay, 2 popped out, so I'm going to read both of them, period. Bigger and better experience are coming your way. You may not be able to see it, but great things are coming together for you as you read this. Trust the process and let it unfold in divine timing. Move forward knowing that all is working out just fine, okay? We also receive, try not to dwell on the past or spend too much time worrying about the future. All it does is steal your joy and sense of inner peace. Concentrate on the here and now and enjoy every moment for what it is. You are creating new memories. Ooh, I felt that, because the creating new memories, friend, you want to engage. You want to be all you can be in your current relationship. You want to be all you can be in a new relationship. You want to be all you can be at work. You want more friends. If you already have your set group of friends, you want to engage more, okay? You want to create those new memories. Your spirit team is telling you that it's okay for you to step outside of that. And instead of assuming that people aren't going to show up in the way that you do, instead of withdrawing, okay? I'm also going to pull some oracle from the messages from her tarot. And again, I give this disclaimer, as I always do. I love this deck, but I did not write it, and I'm not responsible for some of the people that show up in our pop culture that we may not see in a favorable light. However, this is the energy that your spirit team wants you to embody or take away something practical that you can use to claim and accept this reading, okay? So again, you don't have to take it literal for the person that comes out. This is just an energy that you can embody or practice the message, okay, in order for you to receive this reading here today and actually have some practical steps that you can take to start to become a person who's more open and vulnerable, okay? So that's what I'm going to pull here, is what energy can Pile 2 embody in order to accept and receive this reading. Spirit for Pile 2. Okay. Okay. See, this is why I do this. This is why I give the goddamn disclaimer, because we got Queen Elizabeth II for femininity. Okay, now listen. Don't take the face too literally now. Queen Elizabeth II might not be somebody that you really feeling. However, the overall energy and message of femininity and what the oracle has to say about the energy that this person gives off, okay? This is an energy that you can maybe adopt for yourself in order to get what you're seeking by way of connecting to others easier, okay? Now, let me go ahead and... Queen Elizabeth II, her quote is, "It has been women who have breathed gentleness and care into the hard progress of mankind. It's time to help balance our masculine world with feminine traits. All of us have masculine and feminine characteristics, and they need each other to thrive. Our world has historically been dominated by the ideals of masculine progress, but it's time for greater balance. The world is calling to the feminine for help. Where can you infuse feminine gentleness and care? Does your work or home need more presence, tenderness, and inclusion? Do you need to breathe gentleness into yourself, your body, and your own personal life? Are you trying to grow without giving yourself time to integrate your lessons, loves, heartbreaks, and successes? Are you making enough time to celebrate the progress that you do achieve? How balanced are your feminine qualities like patience, intuition, flexibility, and nurturing? Taking the time to develop these traits will benefit you and the world around you greatly. Life is long. Make sure you know how to take care of yourself. Try not to take everything too seriously. You need levity to sustain your energy for the task at hand and to enjoy the rich life ahead of you." Okay? So in other words, let's be honest, friend, the rough around the edges shit gotta go. Okay? It's okay to be vulnerable. Now be wise, because we ain't saying not to have discernment for those who don't, receive it well. But don't assume that everyone is not going to receive you well. Do not assume that someone cannot meet you emotionally, okay? Engage instead of avoid is what we discussed before, all right? So that is your clarity pile 2 for the habit that is holding you back. You can get a personal in-depth reading from me, link in the description. I'm also working on the Cuss and Clarity guided journal that is also linked for you to put your email to be notified for when it drops, okay? Now you know better, pile 2. Act like it.